Yeah, guys, there's something more exciting about Chelsea, and then I'm going to be talking about Chelsea's chance of, attaining Premier League title this season. Now, the good thing about Chelsea is that they have literally got competition in every department of the field. Now, next season, if you remove Joao Pedro, for example, you bring in Delap. If you remove Neto, you bring in Estevão. If you remove Caicedo, you bring in Dario Esugu. If you remove Enzo, you bring in Santos. If you remove Kopama, you are going to bring in Xavi, which Chelsea will definitely get. Remove Reese, bring in Gusto. Remove Cucurella, and you bring in Hato. This is classic. This is a perfect way of getting ready to do something in the league. I am not sure if there is any other team currently in the Premier League that have this quality back to back like this, the depth back to back. Manchester City used to have it and they used to dominate the Premier League very well. Liverpool has it, but Liverpool don't have it again. I'll come to that. Manchester City used to have it. I'm not sure now, but let me talk about Chelsea. Chelsea have these players in every position currently. So it's amazing. You know, when you are going into the league, is about 38 matches you're going to be playing in total, and then of course we all know that there will be particular points where changes will definitely need to happen when the player takes up an injury or when the player drops in form and off. And then one beautiful thing about league is that when a team is in a very good form, everybody performs well. Whether you come from the bench, you think that maybe when you remove a player from a starting lineup and another player to come as a substitute to enter the match to affect the game, you will now see them having the same quality, the same ability as if the person that was removed is still the same person that was, that is brought back again. That is the way it is. Now, when this kind of team picks up a very good run of form within the league, they will be very, very hard to stop. Very, very hard to stop. And the one thing about Chelsea currently, they are creating serious chances. They compete for 1v1s. They are the one of the teams in the Premier League currently that you can stick out your head for 1v1 situations. They are going to be there. They are going to be there. If it's the pace, they have players now. Jamie Bino-Gittins is now there on the left wing. Garnacho will join. The deal has been agreed already. So Garnacho is going to have that battle with Bino-Gittins. Why Neto, drags it with Estevão Willian. And then one beautiful thing about that particular one, that Neto swing is Estevão Willian is going to bring out the best in Neto. Bino-Gittins is going to bring out, just like vice versa, they are going to bring out the best in themselves. That is just how good it will be. Now, that is talking about some of the players, and of course, if Reece James can be injury free, even if he's half of the let's say he plays more than half of the competitions, more than half of the fixtures, matches, I think Chelsea are going to be a serious contender for Premier League title. Chelsea are going to be seriously contending for the title. Now, that is players' availability. Now, when you add the juice of the strikers position, you're having Leandela, you're having Joao Pedro. Like, if you watch my previous video, I analyzed something about this underrated players in some of these Premier League teams. Now, when you see a player like Joao Pedro, is he new in the Premier League? He's not new. So now that gives us an advantage because now the intensity level is there. Now, you just need to switch it a little higher now because you are playing for Chelsea. Now, but when you have a quality player all around you, the best of that player comes alive. That is exactly what is happening to Joao Pedro. He's a fantastic player even before he was bought. But many of us doubted his ability because he plays for a very underrated team, which is Brighton. But to the best of my knowledge, Brighton scouts are one of the best in the league. I said something in my last video. I said if you can watch it, I'll post the link on the video. I said Chelsea can as well go to Brighton and tell their manager and tell their owner, see, most of the players you have, since they already have a very good relationship and the owner has already reiterated the fact that Chelsea has a deal with them, so that means for good patronage, oftentimes, they can have a deal with Brighton. See, come, if you have a player you want to sell, the first person you let know, you notify, is Chelsea. It is only when Chelsea show no interest in the player, you sell it to other. Because now money is not always the problem. And then we are relying on you because any player we buy from you, they turn out good. So that is that. They have quality players. We bought Cucurella from them. We bought Caicedo from them. We bought Joao Pedro currently. And then for the keeper position, we have our man there. Now the problem we have with Sanchez initially was that Sanchez is not good on foot. He makes some gambles that are not right, and then they tend to cost us to go. Now, but when you look at his match, the matches that he has played from Club World Cup, or let's say towards the end of the season, till Club World Cup, till now, you are now seeing a more mature goalkeeper there. A more mature goalkeeper. In fact, if I'm comparing, because Chelsea were to go for Mike Maignan and it didn't work out, and I think they intentionally don't want to get him because it was for a lower fee. And they were suggesting a far lower price. So I feel like, okay, that one's not going to happen. But if they are finally trusting Sanchez, I think there's a reason to. Because Sanchez is now stepping up. You understand? Now, these are for the players' position. We have very good defense now. Despite the fact that Liverpool had an injury, I think we still have a very good backup for Liverpool. Badiashile is still there. Wesley Fofana is still there, injured. So when these players are definitely going to come back, and they are already training, but they have not played yet. But when you bring back these players with Jared Heto, with Trevor Chalobah, with Tosin, you know, these are very, very, very good options to have. So defense is settled. Now midfield, an underrated player, Santos, is there. Santos is just simply underrated because now he plays fantastically well, and now he's beginning to understand the pattern of play for under Enzo Maresca. So now this is going to be a very serious problem in the midfield to have, because now we have another underrated player again currently, Darrell Esubu. When this player comes in, it becomes a major stronghold of Chelsea, that midfield position, because we have serious players who can play there. Darrell Esubu, Santos, Caicedo, the boss, Enzo himself playing in that midfield. Adding the mixture of Xavi that is currently being touted to be bought is going to be a very serious deal for whosoever is going to play against Chelsea. That is it. So now, when I now move from the players, let me talk about the manager. See, Enzo Maresca has certain regret last season, and I know, because when I saw his current press details and press briefing, that some questions that were being asked, and he was saying he's now reiterating what we are scared of last season. He's now saying that the bare minimum is for you to win a trophy in Chelsea. And he's now setting a standard that where every competitions that we play, the desire to win it is the ultimate goal. That is what you need from your manager. That is what you need for your manager. There was a match that Chelsea lost last season. I don't know if it's against Bournemouth, but that particular week, almost everybody in the league lost. Chelsea had his chance to win, but Enzo Maresca used the wrong player. More like he was testing player in that, and then that was a chance for us to. And that time we're still fighting for top 4. We are struggling to get into top 4. Now, one problem that Enzo Maresca have, let me talk about his weaknesses. That I see a similarity between him and Pep Guardiola in terms of gambling your strategy, gambling your tactics with certain players. When the match is so demanding and it's very important that 3 points must drop or a win must occur, I prefer that a manager set out to win his match first. That is the concept of Thomas Tuchel. He wins his first for a match. Most of his match, he tried to win it first half. Second half, he can gamble. But when you score by 2-3 goals first half, you can bring in anybody you want. That same thing you want to try, you can still try it. Not like you try it from the beginning, you are already losing. Now you are now bringing the players you don't want to risk or you don't want to use for one reason or the other. Maybe it's competitions, maybe as at that time we're going to play conference league or something, or final, I don't know. So he gambles like Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola gambles a lot, he favors him. Now, do I blame him for doing that? I don't blame him for doing that, but I'm blaming him for the time timing of that experiment is wrong to me. Now, that is his weakness for me. But if we are talking about tactical brilliance, Enzo Maresca is going on the level of Pep Guardiola. Is the truth. We have a TikTok account, a Facebook account, an Instagram account, and you can also follow us on our YouTube account. The links are all posted on all the social media platforms. Albert Football Podcast on Facebook, Albert Football Podcast on Instagram, same Albert Football Podcast on TikTok. And on YouTube, you can also search for Albert Football Podcast. So most of our videos, the link are posted on all the social media platforms. So if you want to watch our long videos, you click on the links and it will direct you to a YouTube channel. So you can follow us, subscribe also, and then switch on your notification bell so when our subsequent videos drop, you get notified.